Coach, the tundra may not quite be frozen, but it's getting there as we work our way through December. The radar today, however, is clear at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go! Ready!
They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
First down, Chicago.
Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Now Trubisky to Cohen out of the backfield. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and just like that, it's third down. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 20. This is David Johnson, the former All-Pro. Room here to run. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams. His 9th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. So now a 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. Trubisky will throw. Taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Slipping into the backfield for the sack was Oren Burks. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice and it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Rodgers. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Dean Lowry, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a 2nd time.
Here's Trubisky to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball, and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field? That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out
exactly.
there. Right? But the 9 picks
9 picks, you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season.
258.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Man open, it's St. Brown, he's got it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Rodgers. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point right down the middle. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And we are tied at 7. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Now Rodgers to try again after the pick six. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Leonard Floyd in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Eddie Jackson picks it. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Tariq Cohen. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Bears have taken the lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get?
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. David Johnson. His 11th touchdown of the year as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football. Oh, Cohen lost the football. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
On first down, Trubisky. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Touchdown, Chicago! A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. So they're fired out. That's a big gain. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Rodgers now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. Third down here.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Now it's Trubisky. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Returnable for Grant. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And that will come the offense as they take over. Elsewhere on this Sunday in the NFL, they're in the second quarter in Detroit. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. To try again after the sack. Rodgers.
Well, the beauty
that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Eddie Jackson picks it, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Here's Trubisky. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Bears on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And some space here. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Burton. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Fofo's the mic. Mike's Fofo. I don't think you got it, sir. 44's the mic. 44's the mic. Check, check. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson in the final seconds of the first half as the Bears push further out in front.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will. I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Completing it to the right side, Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that. But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
And they let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. On the toss, here's Johnson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 43. This is Grant. Roquan Smith, fresh off a solid rookie campaign, in on the tackle for Chicago.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, 18. 52's the mic. Watch left. I got it. 52's the mic right here. Over there. Right.
Throwing here, Trubisky.
Here we go.
He's got Burton here. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Rodgers now on 1st down. And my goodness, another interception. It's Clinton Dix with a pick. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Trubisky to throw. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Trubisky will throw. And Robinson with a big catch. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
It's a gain of 20.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Trubisky now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. 1st down, a run with Cohen. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd and 7, Trubisky. Miller on the catch over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
A gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
3
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Greystone, travel. Hey, 52.
Caught out left side by Robinson. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the fourth.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A gain there of 30 big ones. You're at the point in the game right now where you got to start taking some chances, and that chance paid off.
And it's a good idea to be that aggressive because, truthfully, the defensive guys, they're just playing not to make a mistake. That often means you can make a big play against them.
Here's Rodgers to throw. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career. And he's going to... And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Leonard Floyd, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a second down and 12. To throw, it's Rodgers. He's going to launch this thing way downfield, and he'll be out of bounds. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
Mike 58 right there. Watch the run, watch the run.
On the sneak, Rodgers. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are back within a single score. Crosby with the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession.
Touchdown, Chicago! Tariq Cohen, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season as the Bears push further out in front. The extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On second and a yard, Rodgers going up top. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. David Johnson, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season as his guys are back within a single score. Crosby connects on the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They try again with Cohen. He takes this for 3 to the 29. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Now it's Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Trubisky gives to Cohen. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
So the Bears with a football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Again, it's Cohen. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. A couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. A give to Cohen. He heads right. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run.
Watch that end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Everyone got 4.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So their move is to decline that so they don't get another second down. It'll be third.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their third down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's their sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on third down.
So following a holding call, what can they do here on third and long? Now it's Trubisky. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Elsewhere, Ford Field. They're into the fourth quarter now. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. Johnson was the intended receiver. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
It's a loss of a yard. And it's third down.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, at least